Welcome to another episode of Slay with me, Leigh M. Clark. I am the founder and curator of Slay the USA, where we talk about powerful women who are leaving their mark around the country. Today, we have Anita Arredondo coming to us from Tampa, one of our first authors in the Slaying series as a part of Slaying Tampa Bay, which was the official second book in the series. She is a breast cancer survivor. She's also overcome melanoma. She's a business owner, the CEO and founder of Be Healthy Weight Loss and Wellness in Tampa, as well as the Making Strides Ambassador of Hope for 2025, which is a huge, amazing role that she's honored with to represent all the women and men out there fighting this disease, breast cancer. Welcome, Anita. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Anything I missed on your intro? Anything you want to share?
No, I founded Be Healthy Nutrition, Weight Loss, and Wellness back in 2020 during the middle of a pandemic. And it's just risen and done really well since then, partly because of my story and how I can help others.
Yeah, and anybody who wants to know, she does all the wellness nutrition coaching. She's got a sky scanner, which is a special piece of technology, can help you see a total body composition. And she really does cater to the individual and making sure whether it's that you're, on GLP-1s and you want to change your weight schedule, you're trying to get healthy for a marathon, or even if you're, unfortunately battling things like Anita has battled where you need a balanced diet for overcoming health challenges. She's definitely the one to go to. So today we're going to
Yes.
play 10 ways to slay. I'm going to have 5 questions for you. You have 5 questions for me. I'll start with you. What's one decision you made in your career that, oh wait, yours then. I'm gonna start. And by the way, I don't edit, so I'm happy to screw up. Nobody else is screwing
Yeah.
up, so it's fine. You're a survivor of breast cancer and melanoma. During what moment during your healing journey fundamentally reshaped how you address your health in your life?
Well, actually, the fact that after I recovered or was on the recovery road, um, I gained so much weight with chemotherapy, and the doctors would tell me, "Oh, you got the good cancer." Well, shit, what's the good cancer? Like, cancer is cancer. Oh, well, you got the kind that we know, like estrogen based, and we know that cocktail. So great. The lady next to me is looking like a rail because she's all frail from her cocktail, and my cocktail just packed it on, right? So I think that moment that I was told I had to go on insulin, shooting
Mm,
myself with insulin.
mm.
I was just like, wait a minute, this is not going to happen to me. And I think I did it like 3 times and I shot myself in the leg and I said, no, no, we're not doing this anymore. So I was just like, looking at pictures of myself, saying there has to be something different, there has to be something better. So I did a deep dive and ended up changing my whole life. So
And really,
that's
it has made a huge impact on your life, your lifestyle, and now you're helping others.
exactly. And you don't have to be, if you're type 2 diabetic, you can change your food choices. You can try to eliminate lots of things that will help you not be a type 2 diabetic anymore. I'm still listed on paper as one, but my A1C is great, my insulin is great, and those are the things that you can change with food.
Yeah, love it.
So, Leigh, what my question for you, right? Okay.
Yeah.
There's women listening, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So have you ever struggled from self-doubt?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Yeah. Um,
And give me an example of one time you did.
Yeah, so for me, I think just self-doubt, just even going out on my own, right? Career-wise, I think that's the best example. I'm a pretty confident person. I don't think I'm better than anyone. I don't think I'm less than anyone. I just think I am. And I try not to beat myself up too much, but I've spent 20 plus years avoiding going into the scary world of entrepreneurship out of fear of failure, out of fear of like, what if I'm, not capable of being consistent, or what if I don't earn at the same level I was earning at Microsoft, and all of those self-doubts. It's funny because I spoke to my mother over the weekend and had told her that I'm no longer working my corporate job, and she was very supportive. But I said, right now I just need to hear support. I have enough internal dialogue that says you can't, that I don't need to hear that echoed anywhere else. So if you're concerned or fearful, please don't share that with me. Just because it's true when you go into that mode and you really have to be self-sustaining and go out on your own, it requires a great deal of confidence. And you really don't have room in your mind to consider failure because the minute you consider failure, it's an option. Like the Eminem song, like success is my only option, failure is not. So,
Exactly.
yeah, great question. To you, as an author of Slaying Tampa Bay, your story, your writing, what were you most proud to share with others and why does it continue to resonate?
Honestly, I'm proud to share that I have an amazing husband that literally was there for me through everything. I knew I was strong, and when I was diagnosed, I was actually having the self-doubt, the pity party, I was a brand new grandmother, and I was just like, it's not going to happen for me. I'm toast. And he basically sat me down and said, "Listen, you got like 2 minutes for a pity party, and I'm gonna let you scream, cry. You want to hit me? You can do whatever. That's your one freebie, right?" And he said, "And then after that, I want you to pull up your big girl panties and be the badass wife that I married." And he didn't even give me a chance to think about it. He was just like, "Okay, go." And I was like, "What am I gonna live?" And I was like, so just distraught. And then he was literally timing me. And then he was like, "Okay, you're done. That's it." And I feel like that was just like process oriented. Like, okay, what's next? What do we do next? How do we do it? Let's get it done. And I wasn't afraid to share my story with the world because I was scared. There was a lot of things that, and I had a really good husband, right? And what about those who don't? What about those who need other people? So I wanted to be that for those who needed others.
I love that. No, and it's so important that you have that support system and that it doesn't necessarily, to your point, need to be a husband, but that you have your people around you when crisis happens that help you, you know, pity party when you need to, but get back on the horse and get after it.
Okay, your question. um, was there a defining moment in your past life, your career, or whatever, that you realized that slaying was your actual calling?
Yeah, I felt disingenuine. I mean, honestly, it was a series of events. Like I've been in corporate tech forever, like 20 years. I started my own company at 23, got really scared, ran back inside and was like, okay, I'm going back to corporate. So 20 years later, and I think I started to feel like disingenuine. Like I never was the smartest in the room when it came to tech. Like that's not why they hired me. They hired me because I'm very open, honest, authentic, and direct. And that's rare that you get someone who's going to say, no, that's too much. You don't need to pay them that much, negotiating against my company or things like that. But when I came back to work during the slaying season of my life, it became that I felt like I was doing it to be performative. I felt like I was doing it because it was my job. But I'm like, somebody else would like kill to work at Microsoft, and I'm not passionate the way I should be. And I know it's a huge opportunity, and like it's disingenuous of me to continue to pretend that that's really where my heart is. Now, of course, you want to stay for the money, you want to stay for the security and things like that. But I have a really like being disingenuine makes me feel uncomfortable in my skin. So
Mhm.
I couldn't stand the feeling of being inauthentic anymore. So that was really the defining moment. What about you? What's one moment that encapsulates who you are?
Okay. Um, I love the story about me and my husband. That kind of encapsulates who I am. Um, I've everybody says I have like nine lives and I'm on life seven, right? I've had two miscarriages. People don't know that. I've had two miscarriages and thought I would never have another child. I have a daughter who's going to be 34 and one that's going to be 21, and I had those miscarriages in between. Um, so that strength that I have, I just keep pulling from places I don't even know, right? So, like car accident, losing jobs, car accident, miscarriages, house fire where I burned the whole side of my leg and was in TGH for weeks. All of those things I feel like makes me just kind of like those stepping stones. So I don't think that there's one thing. I just think that it's all of the things that just keep giving me those stares,
Yeah.
and all of the people underneath me that keep helping me rise, and just, I don't know, being proud of me. My mom used to say, God rest her soul, she used to say I was always just striving for her to be proud of me, and she said I always was, and
Mhm.
I've never met a stronger person than you. And when I did the affirmations project where I, wrote the affirmation word painted across my naked body, after my double mastectomy, I used the word stronger because it comes from her, that she knew I was stronger. She knew I had it in me. And those moments, every single moment, I don't think I can pick one. It's just, that saying, you don't know how strong you are until there you go, right?
Apparently God thinks you're a badass.
Yeah, apparently. But I've had enough. I think I'm on 7. I don't
Yeah.
need
I
another
think the
one.
hurricane and the flood in the house were like the icing on
Yeah.
the proverbial cake.
Yeah, but if you can make it through that, and maybe a defining moment was also when I lost my house and I lost my business. I could have said that's it, or I'm just going to close, be healthy, and help my husband run his pool business. And he looked at me and he said, no, you're not. You're be healthy. That is you. And you've done so much. And that's your brand. And he says, you're not closing. So,
I love that.
me too. So, okay. So you, who's been your biggest influences in your life and career?
I would say, obviously my
Not Eminem. Okay. Not Eminem.
not Eminem. No, I would say my parents obviously instilled great work ethic and creativity. My mom's very creative. My dad's, been in tech forever. But for this journey, it's really been my boyfriend, my significant other, Twain. He's been amazing. Shows me that every day that like what I'm working on matters, that I can do it, that he believes in me, that he supports me, that if the world's going to come after me, he's going to stand at the doorway as the bodyguard. And he just, I never had that in my life. I never had a partner. I was married for a number of years and I was a great wife, but I did not have a great marriage. I just didn't have a partner. It was all, I always joke about my ex-husband, the thing and I we had in common was we were both really into him. So there was like there was no really room. Like, I mean, even when I was doing Kindly and TED Talks and all the things, he just didn't care, wasn't a fan, didn't support me. And now, I mean, I fought for that. I left to be single, to be alone because I wasn't going to get with anyone unless they were really supportive. And I found the most amazing man. It was worth everything I went through to find him. And he really does. He influences me. He's my coworker, he's my colleague, and he's my source of reason. But much like you, and we had a conversation offline that you guys didn't hear, but Anita and I were talking about the men who are so supportive of these women who slay. And I definitely have one at the helm of the ship that's, I mean, there's not one event that he's not helping unbox or pack up or pick up, drop off, where's the champagne? Like he's got me on every aspect. So I'm very,
And
very,
that's why we connect so much, because with my first husband being like he was, and it's in the slang
yeah.
book. You'll have to buy Slang Tampa Bay to actually read all
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Although
um,
the Tampa Bay the Tampa Bay Times also wrote up what a jerk your ex-husband is. So it's fine. They did. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
they did. All you gotta do is Google them.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I stayed single for a long time too, because you know what? I knew my worth and I knew what I wanted. And when you find that person that literally you can look across the room and they're just beaming with pride over the simplest of things, or maybe they think it's huge and you think it's simple, but they're always there cheering you on from the sidelines because they don't need to be in the spotlight. And
Hmm.
I waited for that, like 9 years of being single. And,
Same.
and it was worth the wait. And to have somebody that just loves you that much is just a huge blessing. So that's why we have a lot in common with
Yeah,
that.
I
That's
mean,
how
I'm
we
like you.
connect.
I love the way he looks at me. I love the person he sees because he sees the person that I am, and he even sees me when I can't see myself. So that's
Exactly.
so important. What's one piece of holistic wellness advice you'd offer a young person overcoming life's toughest challenges?
Consistency
Yeah.
and consistency and protein.
Mm.
Protein.
I knew you were going to say protein. I saw protein coming. I didn't see consistency coming, but I saw protein
Y-
coming.
like back in the day when we were younger, well, I'm way much older than you, I think. Um, our parents and grandparents used to tell us, you need to eat less, you need to eat less, you need like why? You want me to starve to death? Like that's not the key. So kids need to understand, get off the damn processed food, okay? Eat protein, eat vegetables, go whole food, real food, fresh food, and your body will thank you later on in life. And the
Mm.
more protein you eat, it builds muscle. Muscle burns the fat. It's great for your skin, your hair, your nails, everything. So don't eat less, eat more, but
Right.
don't
Eat
eat more.
well.
Yeah, don't eat more cookies. Eat more protein, vegetables, fruits, all of the things that God has created with this earth, not all the shit they put in the food, right? Okay, you're next. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
Well, that's a good question. I would like to travel more globally. I mean, I see myself continuing to tell people stories, and I want to continue to expand this platform, to be that person who uses my platform to help others. I mean, all these books, like honestly, all these books I've written, what I've like 10 total or something at this point. No, 11 total. None of them are about me. You know what I mean? So it's like I want to continue to do that. I want to continue to make my life about empowering others, about making sure other people are seen, valued, and heard. I get it by default. I never was in it for that
Mhm.
reason, but I would love to see this become a global movement, and I would love to see the women who have told their stories in these collectives to, continue to share their stories on big stages and things like that. That's all I
When
really.
do, when do we, and look, now I'm interviewing you more. When do we get to see to read a book about you?
Someday, I guess I'm going to build an audience of all of you women who will read my book, and then I'll put it out so that I'm sure it sells. Yeah. And then you guys
It
will be like,
will.
well, that's a lot. No,
It
I mean,
will.
like you, there's a lot. I've been through a lot. I mean, I've been very public. I wrote for HuffPost when I went through IVF, and like I'm pretty like I'm willing, like yourself, to share difficult moments in my life if it helps
Mm.
somebody else. And I know, especially with what you went through with breast cancer, being able to use something painful for good is great. But yeah, I'm one of these days I'll write the book. One of these days. Looking ahead, what's one bold vision or adventure or personal or professional that you're excited to bring to life in the next few years?
Girl, in the next 12 months, I'm going to be getting my podcast together, and it's going to be called Wellness Warriors. And wellness meaning mind, body, soul, everything. It doesn't have to be a breast cancer. It could be, you know what, you wake up and you're dealing with an autistic child, and you're like, you know, it's all about those people that are really struggling to get well, mind, body, and soul, or that have come through on the other side of it, and what they can help other people know about their journey. So I want to shift the focus from everything that I've done to help people, where everybody who wants to be on this podcast can do to help others. And
Right.
it may resonate with one person. Oh gosh, that's me. How do I reach them? Or support groups, or maybe something that's really going to help them. So a podcast, Wellness Warriors. So
I love that. I love that. Love that. Love that. And Anita's also part of a project called 1 Year Later, where she wrote down all of her goals in June of 2025. And then in June of 2026, she'll be writing the back half of that chapter. I got hiccups now.
and I
So
got so much more than what I've already written
and
already.
she's
So
done
I'm
more
like,
than same, and same for me. I had one of the reasons we're doing the podcast is I had to take my own medicine and write my chapter, one of which was the podcast. So
yeah. We have
you have
more.
one more for me, and then I have a bonus one for you. Some
Okay.
hiccups.
When you feel overwhelmed
Mm,
mentally, physically, whatever, when you feel overwhelmed, what practices do you use? Because you're like me, we're always running, 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 running. We're like, okay, I got a podcast, I got a speaking event, I got this, I got that. What do you use to overcome being overwhelmed? What practices?
Weed. No, I'm totally kidding, but I'm not, but I am. I don't really know. I don't really know that I have an effective toolkit per se.
Weed.
Weed
Weed.
is in my toolkit. I am
Okay,
a
well, hey, you
legal
know
card.
what?
I'm a
It's from
legal
the
card
it's
carrying
from the
citizen.
earth. It's from the
It's from the
earth.
earth. I'm a legal card carrying citizen. No, I don't, I mean, I have to put things in perspective, really. Like, will it matter in 5 years? Is anybody going to die on the table? That kind of stuff. Because pretty
Yeah.
soon, these big, big things that become overwhelming are difficult to process. And, we can okay, I'll give you an example. Las Vegas, right? We just did the launch. We ordered the books when the book got released. We can only release it at a certain time to hit bestseller. The books did not make it in time. Okay. That's a problem when you have a room full of people that are there for a book launch. But
Right.
rather than, freaking out, that's not going to do anything for it, right?
Right.
We had that happen one other time with a shipping delay. So we had a plan in place.
We had shipping delay.
You
We
had a
did
shipping delay, but you
in
guys had books
Tampa.
at the event. But we ended up, I just got a local printer in Vegas to print copies. So all the women had their copy that night. We focused on digital first. And then I got the books came the next day. I hand delivered them to everyone. So, crisis averted. Again, will it matter in 5 years? Did anyone die on the table? No and no. It's upsetting because, you always want to meet expectations. You always want to make
Mhm.
sure everybody has what they need. But the reality is, and I really feel this, and I know you and I are the same on this. I'm trying nowadays to surround myself with people who are flexible humans, who are gracious and graceful and can handle things that happen without villainizing or attacking. Like it's more difficult for me than the one person in that book. One person has to be upset about themselves. I have to be upset for everybody in the book, and I have to fix it. So we
Right.
stayed an extra day in Vegas again. My support system was like, let's stay and deliver the books. I'm like, sure, rearranged our flights. And I was good with it because life is going to happen. And sometimes the champagne's late and sometimes the books don't arrive.
So basically you're really good at pivoting. You
Yeah.
center yourself and you pivot, And I
Yep.
think that's what all business owners have to do. And basically you're a business owner because this is your business. Slaying
Yeah.
USA is your business. And
Yep.
sometimes we just have to pivot and do what we need to do.
Right. And own it. And listen, own it. When something goes wrong, it's wrong. It's not okay. And then that's okay. It's
Mhm.
never to be perfect, but you have to take accountability, responsibility, and then do the best you can and then let it go. I mean,
Exactly.
we're not ever being judged as much or as harshly as we think we are. And if we are, we're around the wrong people. So there's that.
Exactly.
Great
There's that.
question for you. What is one thing you've done to create better friendships and relationships with personal boundaries?
Mm, that's loaded.
No, I just mean generally speaking, like what have you
Well,
learned recently or in the long term about the kind of
okay.
relationships you need and how to set boundaries for Anita?
Well, if it doesn't bring me joy, I don't want it. I'm not doing it. And no is a complete sentence. And and it's okay to make yourself happy and not have to worry about everybody else's happiness if that affects your what you're doing. Like,
Yeah,
for instance, like, I want to be around people I love, care, support, and support me. If you have a problem with it, then you go somewhere else
right.
because this is my bubble and I choose to live in joy and happiness. And if
Yes.
that's not going to happen with you around, then I don't need that anymore.
Correct.
Okay. And, I would say some choice words, but I might as well, like I told my husband, fuck it. Like, fuck it. You know what? I'm not living my life for you. I'm 56 years old. Been there, done that. Have the t-shirt, okay? You don't bring me joy and you cause me pain in my life or make me feel like stressed out. There's the door.
Yeah.
Walk.
Yeah.
Because
There's an expression
I am the epitome of life is too short to sweat the small stuff and
that
worry
part.
about your bullshit instead of worrying about my own.
And I mean, there's a quote that says, in life you have two choices, to be a fountain or a drain. And in your
Mhm.
case, you've already been troubled with drains that come from breast cancer and chemo. Those are the only drains you've even needed to make time for. Those were life-saving drains. But everybody else, like if you're not a fountain, listen, feedback happens. Feedback is great. But if you're genuinely not supporting someone or you're not a fan of them, you're going to talk badly about them, don't be their friend. Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's better not to. And I think being
Mhm.
clear is being kind. And I've seen from you in all different aspects. One thing that's great about Anita is she's okay saying the truth. Even if it doesn't have to be the popular opinion. She's okay to say what she means and she can stand up for herself. And that's like really important to do that without like being menacing. Like she's not menacing. She's 5'2". Like she's not going to take you down. I mean, she could probably
Well,
with.
I'm not even 5'2". I'm like pushing a 5'1" here.
Oh, I
Okay.
just put you in heels. I put her in heels. She's pushing 5'1". She's probably not going to take you down. But I think, yeah, being clear is being kind, that the people in your corner are going to see the best and want the best for you. And you really just can't surround yourself with people who are drains. I think I said it on, we were on a trip together and I said, I'm an 8.2. I mean, for the most part, I got 1.8 deficit on any given day, 8.2. I try to surround myself with 6 and higher in terms of like energy. If you're like a 4 or 2, it's a drain. And life is
I've
about
told other people if it
that's the
doesn't
problem.
bring you if you doesn't bring you joy,
That part.
why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. You can say no to it.
Right.
Like, no, not
Yeah.
no. Well, why not? It just doesn't fit into what I'm doing right now. So it's
Agree. And
okay
I
to say
think
no.
people pleasing is manipulative. So like be who you are, say what you mean, because those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter.
Okay, Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, Dr. Phil and Dr. Seuss had a baby, and it's me. Well, anyway, Anita, thank you so much. Anita's our official first guest on the show. Thank you for coming on, and we're really hoping to have you back. Maybe we'll come back in October and talk about your
I,
ambassador role.
I would love to. And just because you love to be corrected, I know this. Um, you love to be corrected. It is
I do.
a Staiku 3D body scanner, and
I
it's
do three sky
Staiku,
scanner. I
and
think the
it is
sky scanner.
within, yeah, it's within 2% of a medical DEXA scan, and everybody gets their first one for free. So, and I do virtual coaching all over the country. So hit me up.
Yeah, and give them your Instagrams. How can they find you?
Okay.
I mean, we're gonna post it too,
Be
obviously.
healthy. Be healthy, Tampa
Be Healthy Tampa
on
at
Instagram.
Tampa.
Yep.
Tampa. She has great like articles and information, and she'll talk about protein and all the other wonderful things for wellness. But a lot of people, you go to their feed and it's all about like self-serving and their products. Like Anita's all about helping people, and you can see all of her content is geared towards like even if you're doing business with her or not, ways that you can eat better, sleep better, do better, feel healthy. She's one of my favorite humans. So thank you for being on the show. Adore you. I'm gonna
Love
stop
you.
recording and keep you on. Bye, guys.